Hey, this is Paul with MakeUseOf.com, and in today's video, we are checking out this beast of an e-scooter. This is the Varla Eagle One Pro. And so if you're looking for a powerful, fast, and rugged e-scooter that can basically handle any terrain you throw at it, or just easily keep up with motor traffic, then the Varla Eagle One Pro might just be what you're looking for. And opening it up to set it up, you've got your stem, and then you've got this locking mechanism here. Tighten that, and then you've got a locking pin as a safety measure. Stick that in on the side there, and that'll prevent it accidentally coming undone. For its price, it offers some of the best features of any sub $2,500 e-scooter in 2023. This includes a dual hub motor, each with a 1,000-watt output, and a massive 60-volt, 27-amp-hour lithium-ion battery. Now, compared to its non-pro variant, which we saw released earlier last year, this scooter has improved range and an even more absurd top speed. When fully charged, you can achieve up to 45 miles of claimed range with a top speed of 45 miles per hour. Now, for riders who prioritize power and versatility over portability, at a competitive price of $22.99, it's a great value for anyone who's looking for a fast, powerful scooter that can handle any terrain. Before we get into its performance, the Eagle One Pro has a few nifty features which will enhance your ride quality. Front and center, we've got a large 3.5-inch color LCD that's easy to read and shows you a variety of information, which includes your speed, battery level, riding mode, voltage output, and the distance traveled. Like a lot of displays found on e-vehicles though, the downside here is that it can wash out in bright sunlight, which will of course make it harder to read, but that's not surprising. Something cool though is we've got an NFC card reader built in. I find it a lot more convenient than using a traditional key, which can easily be lost among your other keys or simply be left at home. Instead, this NFC card is small enough to always have on you. After turning on the scooter, tap the NFC card and then your display will come to life. And with a scooter this big, having good lights is definitely important. According to Varla, the Eagle One Pro boasts a potent 10-watt headlight that can light up to 500 meters on the road ahead. A downside though is that it's attached to the main frame instead of to the stem or handlebars. The issue here is that it might not always direct the light where you want it to, especially if you're turning, as even when you turn the handlebars, the light remains stationary. Also, if they perhaps raised the lights a little bit higher on the stem, it might have been a little bit better for increasing your visibility. On the other side, the taillight is really large, bright, and it flashes anytime you press on the brakes. This of course adds an extra layer of protection and safety for low light and night riding. It would have been nice to see turn signals, but they are not offered here. Adding turn signals would have definitely improved safety and made it more convenient for riders to communicate their intentions on the road, so it's definitely something we'd love to see in a future version of the scooter. The frame is made of 6061 aluminum alloy, which makes it durable and sturdy. You've got a maximum payload of 330 pounds, though they recommend to stay below 250. It's best suited for riders between 4'5" and 6'11". The One Pro has a water resistance rating of IP54, which means it's protected against dust and can be ridden in light rain, though you'll want to avoid riding through puddles or heavy rain as it can easily damage your components. Something we quickly notice though is when it's folded, the stem can easily be loosely rolled around from side to side as it doesn't actually latch onto the deck. This of course will make it more challenging to carry around, and it seems like an oversight. Just as important, when it's folded, I'm worried that the display might accidentally get banged up as it can easily hit the kick plate. You'll also see that the placement of the taillight underneath the deck adds an extra layer of difficulty when attempting to lift the scooter. I find the cockpit here to be comfortable and ergonomic. The handlebar is 25 inches in length and curves slightly inward. It gives you a comfortable grip, and when installing the handlebar, you can adjust the angle to your preference. The handlebar ends are covered in rubber to give you better grip. You've got the dual brake levers, which are easy to reach. The thumb throttle is on the right. On the left, you'll find the power button and a plus and minus for your power modes, as well as controls for changing what's shown on your display and turning your lights on or off. Surprisingly, even though the Eagle One Pro is massive, it has a relatively short deck that measures just 19 by 8 inches. You've got this silicone matting on the deck, which provides excellent grip, though because of its smaller size, some riders might need to adjust their stance when traveling at higher speeds for additional stability. Of course, with all that power and durability, that's going to come at the cost of portability. Even when folded, it measures 22 by 53 inches and it weighs 90 pounds. Although it's not the largest or heaviest in this category, it's still going to limit the practicality for some users. As you can imagine, stairs are going to be your enemy. Because of its awkward shape, weight, and lack of a proper way to carry it, as we previously discussed, it's going to require 2 people to carry it. Although it's incredible for commuting, it's not recommended for taking on public transportation, as it will definitely be a struggle. Similarly, this can limit some of the places that you could practically take the scooter to. For example, one of my favorite spots, Bryant Park or the New York Public Library, has lots of steps, so it's more trouble than it's worth to get there. Also, you can forget about taking this with you in most stores or restaurant, as it's too big and cumbersome to push around and then store underneath somewhere. Now let's talk about that power. The last scooter I reviewed was the Turbo Ant V8, which had a top speed of 20 miles per hour. I felt like that was more than enough for my usual commute, though my biggest complaint was how it struggled to maintain that speed with steeper inclines. On the other hand, I was blown away with the Eagle One Pro, which can go over twice as fast with a claimed top speed of 45 miles per hour, which is just insane. The Eagle One Pro's acceleration is impressive, with an average of about 1.5 seconds from 0 to 10, 2 seconds to 0 to 15, and about 3 seconds from 0 to 20 miles per hour. To get to 25 miles per hour, it'll take you about 4.5 seconds and about 7 seconds to reach 30 miles per hour. So as you can see, it becomes noticeably slower after about 25 miles per hour, taking about an extra 2.5 to 3 seconds to reach that speed. Personally, this never bothered me, as I place more importance on the acceleration at lower speeds, especially for street riding where you need to be able to quickly maneuver and keep up with stop and go traffic. In fact, even with my prior experience riding speedy scooters and mopeds, the Eagle One Pro's acceleration and speed took a few hours to get used to. And with most roads in my area having a 25 mile per hour speed limit, I never felt the need to go any faster, and honestly, I wouldn't even want to. And so for those who want a more tame riding experience like myself, the Eagle One Pro's quick acceleration is what's most appealing here. It allows you to easily keep up with motor traffic, merge, or make turns more safely compared to less powerful scooters. And just as important, with its dual motors, which are rated at 1000 watts each and a peak power of 2600 watts, Varla claims that the Eagle One Pro delivers a whopping 36 Newton meters of torque, which is more than enough to propel the scooter up gradients up to 35 degrees. And with this kind of power, it's no wonder that the scooter can tackle even the steepest hills with ease without losing much speed, so long as the rider isn't too heavy. Now, at about 165 pounds with all my gear, I was able to maintain speeds of 20 plus miles per hour with ease, whether I was crossing a bridge or climbing hills, even for several minutes at a time. You'll notice that range does take a noticeable dip. I'll talk more about that in a bit, but with the Eagle One Pro, it definitely has enough power to keep you going. You have these dual hydraulic brakes with ABS ensuring quick and responsive stopping power, while the 11-inch air tubeless tires provide excellent traction and stability on roads. We found that the Eagle One Pro's large tires and suspension to be excellent for street riding. It easily handles cracks, potholes, and speed bumps, and it gives you confidence with a smooth and very comfortable ride. Its large tires and suspension make the scooter also very capable off-road, though some users might find the suspension to be a little bit too stiff, and the tubeless tires to be less comfortable compared to knobby tires, which are found on competing off-road scooters. But if you primarily plan on using this for commuting and then occasionally using it for an off-road adventure, the Eagle One Pro should still be a great choice. In addition to helping you traverse over uneven terrain, curves, and other obstacles, the scooter's 6.7-inch ground clearance is also an effective way at increasing your ride stance, which will allow you to see more easily over most cars and SUVs. And for me, this was especially important as it helps me feel more safe and confident when I'm riding in traffic at higher speeds. Even though this can handle those bumps with ease, anything over 25 miles per hour, the scooter starts to feel more unstable and becomes more noticeable the faster you go. And as you can imagine, the faster you go, the slightest turns can even cause the scooter to slide around, which can be a little bit unsettling. And honestly, I would only recommend going this fast on a straight and empty road without any cars or pedestrians nearby. And if you think you'll be getting this to ride at higher speeds frequently, you'll definitely want to invest in solid protection in case you take a nasty spill. That said, its dual hydraulic disc brakes give you strong stopping power. Braking is smooth and responsive, making it easy to slow down and stop the scooter quickly. The brake levers are also adjustable, which helps you ensure that they're easily reachable. Braking distance is pretty good. It took me about 15 to 17 feet to come to a complete stop when riding at about 15 miles per hour. For a scooter of this size and power, that's pretty good. With its massive 60 volt, 27 amp hour battery, Varla claims that the Eagle One Pro can travel up to 45 miles. In reality, I think it's closer to about 35 miles, and that's going to depend on a lot of factors, including rider weight, terrain, speed, and even temperature. And just as important, this is not going to be a scooter that you can easily charge up. It's definitely going to take at least half a day. Using just one charger, it takes 13 to 14 hours to fully charge. Luckily, the Eagle One Pro also supports using a second charger, where you can cut your charging time to just about 7 hours. My main concern though is that the battery life displayed was pretty inconsistent throughout my ride. It jumps around frequently and can cause range anxiety. During one ride, I noticed that the battery level quickly dropped from 72 to 50% within just a few minutes due to my rapid acceleration and deceleration. But then it returned to about 66% once I slowed down and rode at a more consistent speed. Perhaps this is just a software bug, but we can't be sure. And so that's been my experience using the Varla Eagle One Pro. The scooter is absolutely crazy. Its top speed might not be for everyone, but like we covered, its acceleration and power are what really make this scooter stand out. So the Varla Eagle One Pro is definitely a powerful and feature-packed electric scooter that can be great for weaving through traffic and the occasional off-road adventure. With its dual motors and large 60 volt 27 amp hour battery, it has impressive acceleration and a ridiculous top speed. Although its real-world range falls short of its claimed 45 miles on a single charge, 30 to 35 miles should still be enough for an entire day of riding. Its 11-inch tires and front and rear suspension make it fantastic for street riding, though again, you may want to invest in better tires if you plan on using it on rougher terrain. Just keep in mind this is heavy and bulky, and when you factor in its limited folding design, it's far from the most convenient e-scooter to carry around or store. I'd love to see a future model where we have the same performance but a slightly better frame, a higher IP rating, and maybe even the addition of turn signals and a more reliable battery readout. Overall, the Eagle One Pro is a great option for those looking for a rugged, high-performance e-scooter with long range, impressive power. It might not be the most practical or portable option for daily commuting, especially if you need to take stairs or use other transport, but it offers excellent value for its price and is sure to provide hours of thrilling adventures. So let us know your thoughts on the scooter in the comments down below, and until the next one, we'll catch you later.